Hello, Johnny Long Torsos! How are you today? I am doing a new episode of Comic Reviews of Fate, where I discuss 4 comics this time around that I purchased this past Wednesday. So, to get things going, I just want to say, Red Knight 6 is out. All 6 issues are available on primalpapercomics.com and Manos Publishing at Etsy.com. It's my comic. Please check it out. Now, let's start with Hawkeye. Where are we here? Number 9 by Matt Fraction and David Aja. Now, of course, Hawkeye's still mixing up with that girl who keeps messing with him. And, let's see. Of course, the women in his life all are very curious about what's going on. So they each separately, take a little investigation into what is going on behind the scenes. With Black Widow, Bobby the Mockingbird, and his current girlfriend, Spider-Woman, which this is the first storyline to acknowledge his relationship with Spider-Woman, which is interesting. Because I remember Fraction was asked about that. It's like, it doesn't seem like they're dating at all in your book, and, there was a big build-up to the relationship in the Avengers, and it just didn't seem to be going anywhere. We get to see what happens with the relationship here. It seems like Jessica dumps him after finding out more about this girl and the situation with the Russian tracksuit mafia. I love the tracksuit mafia, by the way. Anyway, I don't want to give too much away, but his relationship with Kate Bishop is a little more solidified here. Not how you're thinking. And one of the supporting characters gets killed, which is really, actually, kind of a bummer, because I really like this character. But, is there anything wrong with this book? No. It's just fantastic. 5 RAM chips. One of the best books out monthly. Uncanny Avengers. This is issue 6, and it's by Rick Remenda and Daniel Acuna. Oh, I wonder if he is related to the other Acuna. Who knows? Anyway, last we left, Kang, the conquering, time-traveling villain who always gets his ass kicked all the time, is out for blood again, trying to weave through the portals of time and stuff like that, as usual. He never learns. I don't know why, he does the same shit all the time. I don't know. But he's trying to set up situations in the past of our heroes that will play out for him in the present or future or whatever the hell. So anyway, he sets up this fight between Apocalypse and Thor before he even got the hammer, where he was still a young, arrogant god. And let's see. Also, he tries to eliminate Wolverine's ancestor, who is living in London as, I suppose, a knight. And not to give too much away, but he basically throws the then 4 horsemen of the apocalypse after him, only to be saved by Thor. Pretty exciting, actually, as far as, all the action, and there's no framing device used to piece together, the present day. We don't see any of the present day Avengers. We don't see present day versions of Thor or Logan. By the way, there's some funny references in comparison to Logan's ancestor to Wolverine himself, which is pretty funny actually. The fight is really exciting, and I like seeing young Thor really tackle Apocalypse here. I always like seeing Apocalypse get his ass kicked. What a dick. And, but of course, all for naught, because this seems to be helping Krang out a lot. This is the first time I really dug into Rick Remender's work after hearing about him on Venom and a couple other his titles. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again at this point. I really do think Marvel has its Grant Morrison within Rick Remender, because he takes absurd, crazy ideas that you think, oh, that would not work, and totally makes them work, and it makes them sell in such an immature, exciting human way. Except not as drug-induced. I think that's the biggest difference between the two of them. Oh, I dug it a lot. This is going to be 5 ramp chips right here. Also, Fearless Defenders. And this is by Colin Bunn and Will Snidely. I have to say, I like the... You know what I think is really interesting? I like what Marvel's doing now, where a lot of their books are giving us... Marvel has done this in the past before, you know, where they give us kind of like sum-ups and, you know, previouslys and stuff like that. I remember in the 90s they were doing that a lot. And it was pretty standard, you know, hey, previously, blah, blah, blah. And all these books now seem to have their own kind of style to them, which I think is interesting. Uncanny Avengers is a little more straightforward, you know, what you would expect. You know, Hawkeye's a little snarky and kind of simple. And, you know, there's a couple other books, like X Factor was like updating on things that happened to Peter David. And, let's see. Fearless Defenders has pretty much the cover shot of Misty and Valkyrie discussing to each other, you know, the plot points in the last issue, which I think is kind of funny. Yeah, I actually kind of dig it. I don't know how much longer they're going to be doing that, but I rather like it. Well, long story short, the Doom Maidens are coming, and the All-Mother, the rulers of Asgardia, need the Shield Maidens. Now, it's been up to Valkyrie to choose some Shield Maidens, female warriors, to help combat them, but she's not been able to succeed up until recently, which is also brought up to the fact that, like, hey, you live on a world of superheroes and you haven't been able to find anybody yet, which is kind of a good question, I think. Anyway, they're chosen. We have Hippolyta back from the dead. Supposedly she's been dead or something like that. And Hela, brings her back in order to do this great thing. And these 3 women are supposed to help, which is Annabelle's surprise. She's an archaeologist. She's not a warrior. So I rather like this Annabelle Riggs character. I've never seen her before. I don't know if she had appeared in any Marvel books beforehand, but I really like her. And I think I've seen in a couple of Marvel titles characters that aren't badasses are in the stories having adventures. Like they're doing that with Miss Thing over in FF and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, I haven't seen that too much lately. Like, you know, characters that are like that are pushed aside or turned into badasses or something like that, or killed. No, not everyone can be a badass. Somebody has to be a little more vulnerable, but, you know, still kind of rise to the occasion. You know, to find that inner human strength, you know, stuff. You know what I mean. But, wow, I dig this book. And, let's see, I'm not going to give too much away, but they have a battle with, wow, all these hard-to-pronounce named Doom Maidens. And, of course, we wonder if Valkyrie is ever going to be able to really confront them, because one of them is her sister. So, yeah, I'm digging it. This is really good. We also, don't forget, we have Danny Moonstar, who is being turned into a Valkyrie, and we'll see how that plot point works out. If we're going to see... I don't know if we're going to see her, like, have some kind of decision where she has to decide what side she's on, or something like that, but... holy crap, this is a nice little surprise. I was hoping I'd like this series, but so far I'm digging it a lot. I'm going to give this a strong 4 Ram Chips. And now let's move on to Image with Saga! And that is by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This issue deals primarily with Prince Robot, who is primarily the antagonist of the series. He is the Mr. McGee of this comic, where he's chasing our heroes. And I don't know if I could really qualify him as a villain, really, because I actually really do sympathize with him and his plight quite a bit. He is kind of forced and responsible to go after our heroes and try and find them. Now, granted, he's done a couple things that haven't been so good, but like killing this killing the stock with his panicky gunfire. But I can understand like his position. I mean, he's been forced to do this, otherwise he won't be able to see his family. I mean, his wife with, you know, their pregnant robot baby or something. And in this issue, you know, somebody within, you know, the government pretty much boldly threatens them. So I could definitely see that the pressure's on him. And you know what? He's a pretty good detective. I gotta say. While he follows up on a lead that everyone thinks is stupid, and it actually turns into quite a scene. Mostly dialogue in this. There's a flashback to his battle-scarred days, which is quite... Yes. What a book. And I highly recommend this. This is easy 5 Ram Chips. Go get this book. Go get the first 11. If you haven't been picking up, I'm sorry, but you should be. I think that's it for now. So push the button, Lindsay.